Hello, ARMY! Welcome back to BTS News Today channel. No one expected this moment to happen in the middle of BTS's explosive Mexico concert. The crowd was already shaking the entire stadium with screams when suddenly Taehyung and Jungkook did something that made even security look nervous. Instead of staying on the main stage, Taekook walked straight toward the barricade, getting dangerously close to thousands of emotional ARMYs reaching out for them. And then it happened. Taehyung suddenly grabbed a fan's trembling hand while Jungkook stood beside him, smiling softly and completely ignoring the chaos around them. Fans started crying, phones were shaking everywhere, and the entire stadium exploded after witnessing the unexpected interaction. But what shocked fans even more was the way Jungkook reacted while watching Taehyung in that emotional moment. And trust me, ARMYs online are still losing their minds over it. The energy inside GNP Stadium in Mexico felt completely unreal from the very beginning of the concert. Tens of thousands of ARMYs were already screaming before the lights even turned on. But nobody knew that one unexpected Taekook moment would become the most talked about thing of the entire night. As the concert continued, fans noticed something different about Kim Taehyung and Jungkook. Their attention kept drifting toward the crowd more than usual. Every time the camera captured them together, the stadium exploded louder than before. Phones were shaking in every direction. Fans were crying before anything even happened, and security guards were visibly watching the barricade area more carefully as the members walked closer to the edge of the stage. Then suddenly, without warning, Kim Taehyung moved toward the lower platform near the fans. The reaction was immediate. The entire stadium erupted into deafening screams as Jungkook followed only seconds behind him. Security teams instantly surrounded the area while thousands of fans pushed their phones forward, desperate to capture what was happening. Nobody expected them to come that close. Even fans seated far away stood up after realizing Taekook had stepped away from the safest performance zone. What happened next completely changed the atmosphere of the concert. Kim Taehyung slowed down near the barricade and began reaching toward the fans. One emotional ARMY in front suddenly broke down in tears while stretching her hand toward him. In the middle of the chaos, flashing lights, and screaming voices, Kim Taehyung grabbed her hand gently and held it longer than anyone expected. The fan immediately started crying harder. People around her were screaming uncontrollably after witnessing the moment up close. Several nearby fans looked frozen in shock while trying to record through trembling hands. The stadium cameras briefly captured the interaction, and within seconds, massive screams exploded across the venue after everyone realized what had just happened. But the moment that truly sent the internet into complete meltdown came from Jungkook. While Kim Taehyung focused entirely on comforting the emotional fan, Jungkook stopped walking and turned to watch him. The expression on his face instantly became one of the hottest topics online only minutes later. Fans noticed the soft smile, the way he stayed unusually close beside Taehyung, and how his eyes never seemed to leave him during the interaction. That single moment was enough to send Taekook fans into absolute chaos. Clips started spreading online before the concert had even ended. Inside the stadium, people were already replaying recordings on their phones while screaming with friends. Some fans near the barricade were visibly crying after witnessing the interaction in person, saying the atmosphere felt too emotional to describe. But things became even more intense after another detail was discovered. Right after Kim Taehyung let go of the fan's hand, Jungkook reportedly moved closer toward him instead of returning immediately to the main performance area. Fans noticed how naturally they stayed side by side while security tried guiding them forward. Even through the loud chaos surrounding them, their focus seemed locked entirely on each other and the fans in front of them. Online reactions exploded instantly. Many ARMYs called it one of the most emotional Taekook moments ever seen during a concert. Others claimed security members looked genuinely stressed because the crowd became louder and more emotional the longer Kim Taehyung and Jungkook stayed near the barricade. Videos from different angles quickly went viral across social media, with millions replaying the exact second Kim Taehyung held the fan's hand while Jungkook watched beside him. But another hidden moment later made fans even more emotional. A closer video taken from the side of the barricade appeared to show Jungkook subtly slowing his pace to match Kim Taehyung's movements while leaving the area. Fans immediately zoomed into every second of the clip, convinced there was far more happening between them than people originally noticed during the concert. Theories spread everywhere within hours. Some believed Jungkook intentionally stayed behind to make sure Taehyung could interact safely with fans longer. Others focused on how calm Taehyung looked despite the overwhelming chaos around him, especially whenever Jungkook stayed nearby. The emotional energy between them became impossible for fans to ignore. Meanwhile, people who attended the concert in person continued sharing emotional stories online throughout the night. Several fans claimed the screaming around the barricade became so loud that they could barely hear the music anymore once Taekook approached the crowd. Others admitted they completely forgot to keep recording because they were shaking too hard after seeing Taehyung and Jungkook only a few feet away. One particular fan reaction began spreading faster than anything else. A video showing multiple armies crying immediately after Taekook walked away started gaining massive attention online. Fans said the emotional impact felt overwhelming because the interaction looked incredibly genuine and spontaneous rather than planned for cameras. But the biggest reason this moment continues dominating social media is because nobody expected it to happen at all. In a stadium filled with strict security, massive crowds, and endless noise, Taehyung and Jungkook still chose to step closer to fans in one of the most emotional moments of the night. And somehow, instead of feeling chaotic, the interaction felt deeply personal to everyone watching. Even now, fans are still replaying one specific detail over and over again, the exact way Jungkook looked at Taehyung immediately after he held the fan's hand. And after noticing that tiny moment, many armies are now convinced something even bigger happened between Taekook off camera right after they disappeared from the barricade area. The moment should have ended there. At least, that was what everyone inside the stadium expected after security carefully guided Taehyung and Jungkook away from the barricade area. The concert continued, the music grew louder again, and the members returned to the main stage as if nothing unusual had happened. But the atmosphere inside GNP Stadium never returned to normal after that. Fans could still be seen crying long after Taekook walked away from the crowd. Many were too emotional to focus on the performances anymore because videos of the interaction had already started spreading across social media in real time. Every few seconds, new angles appeared online. Some clips showed Taehyung holding the fan's hand more clearly. Others focused entirely on Jungkook's reaction beside him. And that was when fans began noticing details nobody saw during the actual moment. One video captured from the opposite side of the barricade suddenly went viral because it revealed something unexpected. Just seconds before Taehyung reached toward the crying fan, Jungkook appeared to glance at security first, almost as if checking whether the interaction would be allowed. The clip was blurry, but fans immediately started analyzing every movement frame by frame. Theories exploded everywhere within minutes. Some believed Jungkook already knew Taehyung was planning to approach the fans more closely. Others became convinced both of them silently coordinated the interaction before walking toward the barricade together. The more fans replayed the videos, the more emotional the entire situation became. Then another moment pushed the internet into even bigger chaos. During a later performance, Taehyung briefly looked toward the same barricade section again. It lasted only a second, but fans noticed Jungkook turning his head in the exact same direction almost immediately afterward. The synchronized reaction was subtle, yet enough to send thousands of Taekook fans spiraling online. People started asking the same question everywhere: what exactly happened between them after leaving the barricade? Because according to several fans near the extended stage, the energy between Taehyung and Jungkook looked completely different afterward. They stayed unusually close during transitions between songs. At one point, Jungkook reportedly kept glancing toward Taehyung while waiting for the next stage cue, and fans noticed Taehyung smiling to himself moments later. None of it seemed planned. That was exactly why the clips became impossible to ignore. The raw emotion from the crowd, the nervous reaction from security, the way Taehyung focused entirely on comforting the fan, and especially Jungkook's behavior afterward created the kind of moment fans knew would stay legendary for years. But nobody expected the situation to become even more emotional after the concert ended. Outside the stadium, videos of fans crying while leaving the venue started spreading online. Some could barely speak while explaining what they witnessed. Others admitted they had attended countless BTS concerts before, yet had never experienced an atmosphere like that in their lives. One fan video gained massive attention because of what happened in the background. While recording the crowd after the concert, the camera accidentally captured several security staff members talking intensely near the exit area. Fans instantly became curious after noticing repeated mentions of the barricade section where Taekook interacted with ARMY earlier that night. Although no audio could be clearly understood, online speculation grew even bigger. Then came the detail that truly changed everything. A fan who attended soundcheck earlier that day claimed Kim Taehyung and Jungkook were already acting unusually attached hours before the concert even started. According to people nearby, the two members reportedly stayed together almost the entire time backstage whenever cameras were not directly focused on them. Once that information spread online, fans began connecting everything together. The emotional barricade interaction, Jungkook watching Taehyung instead of the crowd, their synchronized movements afterward, the constant glances during later performances, and now rumors about their backstage behavior before the concert even began. Suddenly, what first looked like a spontaneous fan interaction started feeling much deeper to fans watching everything unfold online. The clips continued gaining millions of views overnight. Even non-fans began reacting to the emotional atmosphere inside GNP Stadium after seeing videos of ARMY screaming and crying while Taekook stood only inches away from them. Many people admitted the energy between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook felt impossible to fake, especially during quiet moments when neither of them realized cameras were still recording. But late that night, another unseen angle appeared online. And according to fans who already watched the clip before it started disappearing from several accounts, the video allegedly showed what Kim Taehyung did immediately after Jungkook leaned closer toward him near the barricade. Now fans everywhere are desperately trying to find the full footage because the people who saw it first are all saying the exact same thing. The missing seconds between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook were far more intense than anyone originally thought. By midnight, the entire situation had completely escaped the concert itself. What started as a brief interaction between Kim Taehyung, Jungkook, and several emotional fans at the barricade had now turned into one of the most discussed moments across social media. New clips continued appearing every hour, each one revealing another tiny detail fans somehow missed during the chaos inside GNP Stadium. But one specific video changed the atmosphere online instantly. The footage was shaky and partially blocked by people screaming near the barricade. Yet fans immediately noticed why it spread so fast. Unlike the earlier clips focused on the crowd interaction itself, this angle captured what happened immediately after security attempted to move Taekook away from the fans. According to thousands of viewers, Jungkook's behavior suddenly looked very different. As security began guiding them forward, Kim Taehyung reportedly slowed down again after hearing fans screaming behind him. The video then showed Jungkook briefly turning back toward the barricade before stepping closer to Taehyung instead of continuing ahead with the staff. That tiny movement lasted barely 2 seconds, but it was enough to send the internet into complete chaos. Fans immediately started slowing down the clip frame by frame, convinced there was more happening between them than people first realized. Some pointed out the way Jungkook positioned himself unusually close beside Kim Taehyung while security crowded around them. Others became emotional after noticing Taehyung appearing visibly calmer once Jungkook moved closer again. The comments under the video exploded within minutes, especially because of one moment near the end of the concert. As the members prepared to leave the stage, cameras briefly captured Kim Taehyung looking exhausted while waving toward the crowd. The clip lasted only seconds before shifting away, but fans quickly noticed Jungkook turning toward him almost immediately afterward, and then the camera cut away too fast. That missing second instantly became another obsession online. Fans everywhere started searching for alternate angles from people seated near the side sections of the stadium. Some claimed another recording existed showing what happened immediately after Jungkook looked toward Taehyung during the ending stage, but the full clip never surfaced publicly. At least not yet. That mystery alone pushed the situation even further across social media overnight. Theories became increasingly emotional as fans tried connecting every interaction from the concert together. Why did Jungkook keep staying so close after the barricade moment? Why did Taehyung seem calmer whenever Jungkook approached him? Why did security suddenly appear more tense around them afterward? And most importantly, what happened during the missing seconds that cameras failed to capture clearly? By early morning, even people who never followed BTS closely were watching edits of the Mexico concert online. The emotional reactions from fans inside the stadium made the entire situation impossible to ignore. Videos showing armies crying after Taekook walked past them continued gaining millions of views across multiple platforms. But one final detail suddenly pushed fans over the edge emotionally. A fan who attended the concert posted a longer video from the barricade area, recorded moments before Kim Taehyung reached toward the crying army. The footage revealed something nobody noticed before because of the overwhelming screams inside the stadium. Right before Kim Taehyung grabbed the fan's hand, Jungkook was already watching him. Not the crowd, not the stage, only him. The realization hit fans instantly once the clip spread online. And after seeing that detail, many people became convinced the emotional moment at GNP Stadium was never just about fan service at all. Because according to those now analyzing the footage closely, Jungkook's expression in that exact second looked far too personal to explain away easily. And fans believe another unreleased angle may finally reveal what truly happened during those missing seconds between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook near the barricade that night.